let's get to the touchpad analysis. There were certain things that went wrong. Frimpong, can you just highlight some of the things that we got wrong on the day as a team and as a country?
Well, we'll start with the first goal.
The first goal. So
goal.
this is 1-0 Cape Verde.
Yeah, 1-0 Cape Verde. Over here, you can tell from the shape that we've got a flat 4. We've got 2 in the middle. So here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we've got Paintel out wide, Baba, and his partner, who should be Ashimeru, is up in front.
Yes.
And Jordan is out wide. And our beautiful number 10, Ransford, your boy. Free, just looking at the opponent. And then we've got Semenyo up there. So, moving the ball forward, you realize that the Cape Verdeans actually moved the ball into the middle. Salisu, here's where the problem is. Our number 6 ideally should be right here. He should be watching this. Ashimeru, remember that space that was left?
Yes.
He left that space. And because that space was left open, so there was enough time for the Cape Verdean midfielder to get the ball and turn.
I see. So even though I can see almost like a box Ghanaian midfield.
We've got 4 people against 1 player. All he needs to do is be smart with the ball.
Okay.
So he's smart, he goes back, and they play over the top. Very simple. Because they realize that what we're doing the whole time is we keep being drawn to the ball rather than sticking to areas. So again, our backline, our original backline.
Yes.
There's Gideon Mensah.
Yes.
Jiku.
Yes.
Salisu. And then those are our 4 defenders.
So if you start the sequence, we had 4 men virtually in position.
And they were all in the right position.
Okay.
And
then,
as soon as the passes...
10 seconds later...
They've all been swayed into an overload on the right-hand side.
Okay.
The ball moves forward. Now, here is where the problem is. You would want, ideally, your number 6. So, I would want Baba to be moving actually here. Baba Idrisu should be sitting in front of the defense.
Okay.
There's no Ashimeru, but Ashimeru ideally should be here, also running back into the defense. Then we have at least 6 men behind.
A back 4
and 2 holding midfielders, because that's what we are expecting. But what's happened here is that Gideon is here, Jiku's gone to engage, but because he was already on a yellow card, so his thought is, let's just move him away from the area, no dangerous balls into the defense. And then Salisu is here, and the professor just stood there. So right now, all they had to do was manage to get a shot on or get the ball into the box, because we've created an overload. And granted, Mr. Paintel isn't a defender. He's a wide player who can track back. He can certainly track back. However, it's not his instinct, because what they've done now is Baby has actually stayed out wide. So he's not sure if he should engage and support the professor in here. He's not quite sure what he should do here.
I see.
So
because if he goes, Bebe is left free.
Exactly. So you can tell he has a glance at him. He has a glance at him. And because of that glance here, he knows Baby is there. So he doesn't want to actually engage or leave the area, because it could be a ball across the goal and he taps in, or it could be a pass into the middle and then they look for Baby and they finish it. Ball goes, and here's where the problem is. Because he is not a natural defender, So we've got Salisu there, Jiku there, Gideon Mensah, Dennis Odoi, and then Paintsel. So
Shameful.
it's 5 against 4. Ideally, the numbers are favoring us. We shouldn't be allowing them to get to the ball. However, it's 5 people in the wrong positions because someone's been drawn to a left-back position. And naturally, if we look at the way we set up, Salisu was left centre-back.
Yes.
Jiku is right centre-back. And Gideon is left-back. However, Jiku was found in the left centre-back position. Salisu in the right centre-back position. Already, we are in trouble. And same with Dennis Odoi. He's tucked in, and Paintsel's tried to help. But Paintsel isn't a natural defender, and he still has a little concern of focusing on Baby. So once that's happening, now he has 2 people he's got to decide, am I going to him or am I sticking with him? And because Dennis Odoi is there, his choice is, okay, I'm going to make sure he doesn't get to it. And it's a simple tap in for him because the keeper as well has let us down here.
Yeah.
He's parried the ball into the path of an opponent. It's never done. It's always supposed to be away from goal, or you're saving it. You're keeping the ball, or you're keeping it straight away from goal. But he palms it straight into the player's path, and simple finish.
I see. Wow. So something struck me at the start of the sequence, Bernard, and you highlighted it. Salisu got drawn, so he got drawn into midfield, and
Absolutely.
you know.
So
Like I mentioned earlier on, you know, systems, again, when you are defending, it's about shaping. It's about when there's an overload at the right, it's surmised that there are a lot of the attacking teams players in that area where there's no danger at the other end, as in where the overload is not. So, I mean, defending-wise, look, you look at this, and look at that. It's clear. When the ball was in that area, of course, there are a lot of the numbers of the Cape Verdeans in that area, so we have an overload there. But look at the attacker who is drawing back to mark somebody. What was his
I just
position?
want to draw your attention to something.
Yeah.
So left back here, left back, centre back, right back. Those are our 4 starting defenders.
Yes.
And then we now have Gideon, Joseph Pencil, Ashimeru, Baba, and then Jordan. It looks weird because what's happening now is the 4 that should be here, the space. They've left so much space, and I've allowed the opponents to actually create their own overload, even with less players. An overload ideally should be your players being more than the opponents. Yes. But what they've done is, because they've managed to pass or beat our press. That was another problem with Ghana. The press was not a press. It was rather an attempt to press. Something like we see with Manchester United, where one player is activated doing the press, but then the rest are still watching. And that's what happened here. Salisu thought he was pressing and everybody would step up. But then what actually happened was, he stepped up, and then they lost the ball, and now they are all over the place. And all they had to do was just have a shot a goal, and that was it.
Wow. This is interesting. So.
And this is basic. Sorry to cut you. This is basic in defending. It's about shifting and positioning, because your opponent is looking for the spaces within the shiftings that you're doing. So then it gives you the chance to read wide. Look at our back four. Everyone has missed his position that he should naturally be in if you are playing the right system and then shifting and what have you, because you need to also monitor the opposition team to help you do this. And it's basic, and we aren't doing that.
I see.
And look at the goalkeeper. I mean, that again is basic.
I was very furious with Richard Ofori, and I remember tweeting it, and some people disagreed. But the point is,
cannot disagree.
Basic goalkeeping. When you start training as a goalkeeper, they'll tell you never punch the ball back into play, because if you punch
it's wide.
Yes, if you punch it back, you are giving it to the opponent. You're already at a disadvantaged position. So either side, he's scoring, and I thought Ofori. Yeah, there were other things you wanted to highlight.
Well, the good. about Ghana's play, which came with our disallowed goal.
Yes.
So the whole game, we noticed that whenever Semenyo got on the ball,
Yes.
it meant there was some energy moving the ball forward.
Yeah.
So Semenyo and Paintsel were bright sparks for Ghana. But what we didn't have was enough of the balls down the channels. What we found is we were trying to circulate the ball in the middle and try to move it over the top, and it wasn't working. But when the ball went out wide, what that meant was we had a threat.
Okay. Maybe
We had a threat.
yes.
So when the ball goes out wide, the threat is in the wide players.
Okay.
And here, this is probably the best thing we did beyond conceding in the first half. Here we have Semenyo on the ball. We've seen him over the season playing out wide, playing beautifully for Bournemouth as a winger.
Yes.
You stick him up as a striker, and he's still finding his better opportunities out wide, which is quite strange because he's our number 9, recognized number 9 for this game. He's got the ball, and this is the only thing you should do. Your only thing is to get the ball into the box where the keeper, if you pass the ball here, that way, the keeper is tempted to come out, leave it. And that's exactly what he did. He gets it across goal. And Ransford should be finishing that. He should be finishing that. It's about you just having a touch on it. But I think he got a bit excited by the fact that he's made the right run. So he just jumps in and ball even hits his hand. He couldn't finish the move. But here is where Ghana did the right thing. We managed to actually box up and push the opponent into their own area. And that meant that we had Gideon Mensah, Salisu, ideally Jiku should be somewhere around here, Odoi,
Yeah.
all in the right positions because we want to keep the opponent engaged. And one thing that we saw was our number 6, Baba Idrisu, actually stepping in behind Ashimiru when we have the ball. It's the right thing to do because you need someone covering him. But what we didn't see throughout the game was 1, 2, 3, and then the fourth person being Semenyo. Our 4 attacking players actually in attacking positions. Over here, the assumption was, okay, they all went thinking Ashimura was going to pass to them. But we haven't seen that in Black Stars since the days of Essien, Muntari, because no one wants to shoot.
At a point.
He gets the ball, and it's a perfect shot. That's what you want to be seeing from your number 8 or your number 10, because he's actually shot from distance. Again, many issues about the goal. But this is the perfect shot to tell you that I think this goal should have stood.
Okay.
You're here, you realize that Ransford is right there.
Yes.
Keeper is here. Keeper's eye line is only this direction he can't see. And his player stood there already. So if Ransford wasn't there, his player stood there, doesn't mean he still wouldn't see the ball.
Okay.
So, and referee is perfectly positioned. And I think the referee would have given the goal, not for the VAR.
Not for the VR.
But that is an indication of what Ghana should be doing.
I see.
We should be building up out wide because when the ball comes to the edge of the box, we've got someone who can fire the ball beyond our strikers. Ashimeru can shoot and can finish. That's one thing we need to explore beyond trying to get the crosses in. Our wing play was probably the most excellent thing we did in the game.
I see. Quite interesting. So Bernard, yeah.
Of course, with this, I was looking at it from a different angle. The angle where you had Pencil moving in, then already you take Ransford out, and there's another player who was also in that area also out. Then it's Pencil and the last 4. So the other angle that I saw, which was, drawing the line to determine who was off and on, is where the confusion was for me.
Okay.
And I saw the shoulder a bit of pencil over the last defender. And I feel that is what caused the confusion, because when the referee went to the VAR, he kept looking at that, and he kept dragging pencil out, in and out of that area. And it was indicative that when you look at that scene, you could rub, yes, Rashford was blocking the view of the goalkeeper. He's already out because he was not interfering in play. Same as the other player in that area, he was also not intercepting in play. So then the only person who was trying to move his body as the ball was kicked was Pencil, and he was a little behind the last one. On the second thought, on when I was watching that video again, is where I thought that.
So you felt the decision hung on that point.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
interesting. Yeah, you wanted to highlight another point.
Well, the other good aspect of Black Stars was the goal.
Which was a rarity. Ghana scoring from a set piece.
But then again, that is where our strength lies.
Really?
As much as Jordan can be on and off, his delivery and his technique remains one of the best we have in the Black Stars.
That's a strength, though.
So what we needed to do was capitalize on that. And unfortunately, first half, there were one or two set pieces where he brought in. Salisu contacted that. It wasn't a great one. But then where he put the ball was dangerous. Because you realize that from this, one thing most people don't realize, that when there's a corner, the keeper never wants to see the ball arrive here, in this area. The keeper never wants the ball in this box, because...
why? Is that not, that's an area that's close to him.
Coach Damba taught me this at coaching school. He said this is the black point of keeping, where keepers never want the ball here, because once the ball comes in here, if you're coming out, you must make contact. If you're staying on your line, you must know where the ball is going. And here's the case that keeper assumed that the ball was going to land on Salisu. Okay, I don't know what's happened there.
Then I have a duplication.
That's strange. Anyway, keeper assumed that the ball's coming in, and one of these two, Salisu, Jiku, or Baba, will be getting to the ball. However, because of the height of Jordan's ball, it's an outswinger from Jordan. And
so when you say the outswing, it's
going away from the keeper. Exactly, similar to Semenyo's ball into the box, where the ball's coming in from here, and it's not going directly into here, but rather it's curved. So it's coming into an area where, if the keeper isn't intentional or hasn't paid enough attention, if he misses the ball, it's a clear opportunity for the opponent to score.
Okay.
And Jiku connects with the ball perfectly. This box, because it is in a safe zone for the keeper comes out. If he's nudged, is a foul. If he touches the ball and he gets it, saves his team. But he's not quite sure what Ghana is going to do because of the quality of the ball. If it was Gideon on the ball, it would be an in-swinger coming in this way.
Yeah.
And most likely they'll deal with it. But because the ball dips just before it arrives here, just before it arrives there, Jiku is able to make the right contact and put it where the keeper, again, they always say head the ball down. If he heads it up, it's either going here or probably off the post, or the keeper could save it. But he heads it down, and it gives Ghana the ability to get back into the game.
I see. Interesting. So it means that there is something in the set piece the team can't take advantage of. They just need to do it more often.
When Jordan is on a good day, you ask me.
How many
Jordan,
good days does he?
that's the question. That's the big question mark. When he's on a good day and these deliveries are coming in, then that middle of the penalty area is sensitive. That's why you find the defending players mostly loading themselves in that area, and it's quite important because it's a sensitive area. And when you find a defender who is very good in the air, some of these results, we're going to get it. So if this is our strength, Jordan should always, be on that good day where he's pulling the ball in the right areas. And who knows, because with the Egyptians, that's our next game.
They're good in there.
I don't feel that might be one of our strengths, because you look at their defensive fold and you can see the sixes. I mean, even for the goalkeeper and his anticipation and what have you. So if this is one of our strengths, I feel anybody who rises to power should really power it, at goal.
I mean, just a quick note on Jordan. To be honest, he did set up a headed goal at the last World Cup, Salisu's goal against South Korea. So there is something there.
Yeah, and you realize that the keeper, for most of the game, he would never come out. He would stay on his line. So that was a clear indication that our coaching staff need to pay attention to these things. You realize after the first 2 set pieces, keeper never comes out. Then you tell the players, all right, maybe strategy 2 or 3, swing it into that area where the keeper can definitely not reach, and take advantage of that. But you'll be playing
the mixer.
Exactly. You'll be playing against Egypt, where the players are tall and will make it difficult for you.
Okay, all right. Let's have a look at the final clip.
Well, this is the final goal,
which is probably the most annoying.
Well, let's just start off with the shape of the Black Stars. Nyama is on. Captain Fantastic is on with his brother. We got the professor in there. And then, I'll just keep it at these 4. Salis is also in there. So we have enough people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people back in the 90th minute. We continue. So they throw the ball in.
Gets taken, yes.
Here is where all the problems happen for Ghana. And if you watch the game, you realize that the strategy of the Cape Verdeans was quite simple. Through here, over here to wherever, they were trying their best to put the ball in between our centre-backs and our full-backs. Because they know one's not got pace, one might read the situation, but age is catching up with him. Then the ball comes in. It shouldn't happen. 1, 2, 3 should be dealing with the ball. No matter what happens, the 3 of them should be dealing with the ball. Because balls come in here, you have the numerical advantage. You have 1, 2, 3 players against 1. All we had to do was prevent the ball from going in. And they made it very, very simple. Because the 3 players at the back here, well, they are actually more than 3. 5 players at the back. 1, 2, 3 players. They shouldn't be getting into a goal-scoring situation from here. Because this missed header, your man of the match, Alexander Jiku, did brilliant with blocking all sorts of balls. But when it mattered most, let the team down. He should be clearing that ball, getting his head to the ball. And if he gets his head to the ball most likely will be moving back out. And then the line could step up. They could move the opponents out of the Ghana defensive third and then probably spring into a last counter-attack. But because he failed to do that, put the ball in the right place, then we come to Mr. Keeper. If you watch carefully, the keeper was not decisive enough. He was flat-footed. Himself and Salisu were flat-footed in this particular situation. Because once the ball came in, Salisu and Richard Ofori, there should be some communication. Richard Ofori should be telling him, just get it out. He had 2 options. Sort your feet out, a corner. Sort your feet out, a throw-in. Sort your feet out, a counter-attack. But in one moment of uncertainty, the person you Black Stars went to beg comes and he lets us down by being unable to sort his feet out. And the ball just went straight through his legs. But then the keeper, as I was highlighting, the keeper should be, yeah. So the keeper should be stepping out a lot earlier. He was a bit indecisive with his movement. He stayed on the line a bit too long, thinking his defense will deal with the ball. But you had to assume, what if they don't? And by the time he came, it was either a penalty, red card, or a goal. And that's what we saw here. Because Gilson, he just knew he had to just touch the ball. All he had to do was touch it into space. And his player's right there. He'll finish it.
Okay.
The other Black Stars player that had the opportunity to do something,
Gideon
him.
Mensah.
He should be looking at his man thinking, he should be looking at him thinking, this man is not getting the ball at all costs. If you're shielding the ball, you're protecting your keeper and making sure he's not getting to it.
I see. Interesting.